Good morning. I did not do part 2 yesterday because it got a little bit too sunshiny. And I'm really not supposed to be out in the sun, but I'm out here again this morning. And hubby has decided he's going to take a walk every day. So I'm going to film while he's walking. But I wanted you to see the maze, how pretty it is. Now I'm sitting on my scooter, so think about yourself sitting in a chair. And then look at that maze, how tall it is. It's really tall and pretty. They always plant cotton here, but this year we got that real bad hailstorm. And they came back with maize. And we have a clear sky here today. Clear and blue. There he goes. He's a little cool, so he put on a little shirt. And this is more of our property back here. That's our storage building that we need to go through badly. Alright, here we go. Pretty, pretty cotton. And you can see all the way across the train tracks, there's town over there. Okay. Whoa, he's getting ahead of me here. He's a pretty fast walker. Now this way that I'm going now is a little bit heavier populated. But when we first moved out on this road when I was 7, there were a lot of young married couples with children that lived out here, and they were all starting off, and all the houses were new. And do you know that all the people that lived out here when we first came have died? And except my mom and dad, they're the last living original people out here. So the houses have sold and resold, and it's not exactly like it used to be when I was a kid. And Mother and Daddy's 82 and Mother's 77. So they're the last of the originals. And all the kids have grown up and moved away except for the ones I showed you down the road. They've stayed because we're all family on that end. It's like us and Mom and Daddy and them and their kids. And down here it's just different people now. I know a lot of them, but we don't visit or anything. It's not like I know them that well, like I do at the other end of the road. But across this side of the road is just all cotton. And then over here, it's grazing land. Isn't that pretty? You see straight over there. Way over there. That's beautiful grazing land. And they have horses out here sometimes. So nice and cool this morning. Oh, it's probably about 60 degrees. Just perfect. Now these people have been here quite a while. I'd say 20 years. And he used to manage our grocery store here in town. We have one grocery store. It's called United. If you can believe that. We used to have 2. We used to have a Piggly Wiggly and a United. But he used to manage that store. His kids are grown and gone. And then this house down here, they have it for sale about every other week. They decide they want to sell, and then they decide they don't want to sell. Look at that pretty cotton. Remember the story I told you about the man whose animals were always out of the fence, and the horse came and fell in the swimming pool? That's right here. The swimming pool's in the back of this house. And the horse fell in the swimming pool, and they had to get a crane to get him out, but luckily the horse was not injured in any way. I don't think it made good for neighborly relations though. And this man right here that lives here, he's about my mom and dad's age, but he hasn't lived on this road forever. Just for probably about 15 years. And there's the railroad tracks, and across the tracks is town. I don't even hear those trains. I'm so used to them that I don't even notice them. And Linda will say, I like to hear those trains because, of course, she's only lived out here about 9 years. Honey, you think that dirt road would be too rough? want to go down that way and show you my brother's farm, but I'm thinking I'll have to do that by driving because I think it'll be too rough. You think that road will be too rough, honey?
Yeah, don't go down that.
Okay, see all that hay piled up there, guys? Hay is very expensive this year because we didn't have much last year. So hay is very expensive. Good morning! Hay is very expensive this year. One time when I was in the hospital, that lady that I just said good morning to, her son was in the hospital at the same time. And I had never met her, and we got to talking, and lo and behold, we lived right down the road from each other. And here's some horsies. Let me come up here and zoom in on them. Oh, they're pretty horses. You see them? There's a gray horse and brown horse. And what, honey? Oh, pulling his, he said I had a weed under there. There's some more horses. They're pretty horses. They belong to that lady I said hello to. Good morning, horses. Good morning. They love this cool weather. Love it. Who wouldn't? This is perfect. Man, I'd love to live somewhere where it was this temperature every day. Oh man, that'd be great. But we just have to bloom where we're planted, right? There's the horses. Hello, horses. Hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. Oh, they're so pretty. All right. Okay, now over here, like I said, this lady was one that had lived here forever, and she passed away, and someone else has bought it, and they've taken really good care of the house and have beautiful flowers here. And then her son used to live next door, and he passed away. My husband, boy, he's getting after it now. In this house over here, it was a son that lived here, and his mother lived there, and they've both passed away, and now the grandson lives here. I'm saying passed away a lot, but really, like I said, when I moved here when I was 7, these people were already like in their 40s, 30s, maybe in their 30s, and or 40s, and it was all family, but they all just got real old and passed away. Up here in the corner is my cousin. Let's see, he would be my second cousin, my mother's first cousin's son. And I never see him. We're always so busy. But when we were in first grade, we went to school together. It was before we moved up here, and we lived down in a town called Southland, out in the middle of nowhere. And we both went to the same school, and he and I were class favorites that year, and they had a little bitty annual. There were probably not many people in the whole school, and they had an annual, and believe it or not, they put 1st through 12th grades in that annual, and there's a picture of me sitting on the swing and him swinging me, and that was kind of neat. His name's Alan, and it's a shame that we don't get together more, but we don't. Our lives took different turns, and I need to just ride down here sometime and talk to him. But he has the lawnmower shop in town, and he raises chickens right here and sells eggs at his lawnmower shop. And then he has the UPS dealership. UPS pick up and deliver packages there. And he sells trampolines. He's sort of an entrepreneur. He just does a little bit of everything. Look across here, guys. This is so pretty. Freshly mowed, where they've harvested the hay. Now this year, hay should be cheaper because I think there's going to be quite a bit of it, an abundance of it. Isn't that pretty? What a sight. Honey, we're going to go to the end? I guess so. All right, now here's the trains, and you can hear them right here. Now we have to cross that track to go to town. And my husband gets irritated when the train blocks the track. But there's another way that we can go around. So I always just take that other way. And besides, I don't mind that because when I was late going to school, sure was a good excuse back then. Sorry, train was across the track. And this is another girl that I went to school with, her sister, and she's quite a bit younger than I am, but she has a real pretty place here. She has planted so many trees, and it's just beautiful. I like all those trees, but I wouldn't want it for me because I feel kind of closed in, and I like to have things open where I can see, but I think it's beautiful, and she has done a really good job. If you like a lot of privacy, she's really got it. And this belongs to the railroad over here, so there's not a lot to see over here except the trains. This is really a train town. When I was growing up, almost everybody's dads were cotton farmers or worked for the railroad. Well, we had a depot here then, and we had passenger trains that went through, but our depot closed and things changed, so there's still some railroaders that live here, but not near as many as there were then. And when the last passenger train that was coming through, it was going to Post, a little town about 45 minutes from here, I remember Mama I was probably about 10 or maybe 12, and she took me and my 3 brothers and sisters, and we went on that passenger train to Post because she just wanted us all to see what it was like to ride on a train, and she knew that we might not ever have the opportunity again. Now my brothers and sisters are 8, 10, and 12 years younger. They sort of messed my life up. I was an only child for 8 years, and then boom, 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 those little brats were born. And I got so tired when I was a teenager of hearing the pitter-patter of little feet coming down the hall when I wanted to sleep. And you know how that is. No, I love them dearly now. I was more like a second mom to them. Now up in the field is one of my dear friends, Alan. We went to school together, and we were just both hilarious. We were so witty, and we both, oh man, we were just dangerous together. And he was a railroader. He's retired now, and I think I was nominated for witty, and he was maybe 2, both of us. I can't remember if we got it or not, but anyway, we were always cutting up. And he's got a huge barn in the back, and sometimes we'll come down here and have barbecues. And I used to just come down here and hang out before I was married to Ski about 10 years ago. I'd come down here and we would sit out for hours just talking about school times and just friends. We were just friends. And both our daddies were Marines. We'd talk about Marines, and we had the best time. He's a good old guy. He's got this piece of land. Oh, here comes a car, and they're going to think, who's that crazy lady on a scooter? I haven't branched out much on my scooter. I don't know, I'm not ashamed of it, but I really hate for my classmates and people that I went to school with to know that I'm in this shape, because I don't want to have pity. I don't want anybody to pity me. But I'm going to get better, and then I think I'm going to get better. I think I'm getting better. And so you go that way, you see, and cross the train tracks, and boom, you're in the big town of Slayton, Texas. Okay guys, this is part 2. I'm going to turn it off and I'll start back with part 3. Alright, bye-bye.